Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and I hope you are all okay on that side of the screen. Now I know that I should mount this screen on top of the camera that I'm using to facilitate my point of view, but the point is to show you guys on this particular video this external monitor, which is the Feelworld F6 Plus. Now, starting with the unboxing experience, we will find inside the package the 5.5-inch monitor, the L bracket so that we can mount it on our camera. We'll also find a sunshade, so if you use it on the outside, it will facilitate our view. And finally, a micro HDMI to HDMI cable. Now, in terms of powering this monitor, we can use the battery from Sony, the F970, which is a common used battery. I've got a few of them using on my Amaran LEDs, for example, and also on other gadgets. We can also use the LP-E6 from Canon, and finally we can also plug it into the power socket, which I don't believe that it's the best scenario possible, but there are these options. None of them come inside the package. We will need to purchase it afterwards or before getting the monitor, like some of the devices on this category that we find on the market. Connectivity wise, we will find on the left hand side the HDMI in and out up to 4K at 24 frames per second. Also a power output jack. Beneath we will find the SD card slot so that we can import LUTs if we want to, the power input, also a 3.5 jack in a 1/4 inch for our tripod. On the top we will find the turn on and turn off button, menu button, and also a tripod mount. On the right hand side another tripod mount, and then at the back the place so that we can put on the battery. Now, in terms of the assembly, it's very easy, guys. I'm using it on my Canon 650D right now, as you can see, but it's just a matter of putting the L bracket, or we can mount it somewhere else, but it's just a plug and play device, if I can say so. Once we mount it, just plug it in, put the battery on, and there we go. It can be a portable setup that we can take anywhere. At this moment, I've got a portable setup right over here. Just can pick it up, put it on my backpack and run away because it will last me for hours. This battery, I'm also powering my camera with a power bank, so I have juice for the whole day. And I believe that the 5.5-inch size is still portable. Now, in terms of cameras, I did record on my M50, which is the camera that I'm using right now, so you have seen some images. At this moment is on my Canon 650D. I also tested out on my Canon G7X Mark II, and what I can say is that we can use it on any camera as long as it has an HDMI output, and we are ready to go. In terms of the screen, it's a touch screen display, but I would like to leave one thing clear for those of you that are on the doubt, which is I will not have access to the same options that I've got on the LCD screen from the built-in camera. So if I want to access the menu of my camera, for example, right now, I will not use the touch screen. I will use the buttons on the camera so that I can just go there and navigate, but not using the touch screen because it will not work that way. Now, looking at the external monitor, there's one thing that I don't want to forget to mention, which is it's very reactive and very responsive. And as you can see, I can up and down the volume right over here, and if I go to the left side, I can up and down the backlight of the screen, which is great. So really responsive. Two screens will bring me to this, and up will bring me to this menu. We can start with this one, but I can show you an example of the audiometer and the histogram, for example. And if I go down, we will see the audiometer right over here and the histogram. One thing that I would like to mention is that I was only able to get the audiometer working with playback and not with recording. It would be very useful if I could do this with recording, but I will play around with some settings on the camera and so on and so forth to see if I can get this working or not. And basically we will have also the monochrome here, the safety markers, which I don't need to use because I'm using a 16:9 ratio, but if I was using something else, then I could use the marks right over here. We also have the focus assist right over here. Now, basically this menu has these options. Let's move on to the other menu, and this one I'm not really sure if it disappears or if I need to press anything because it doesn't seem to go down. It's not the screen that doesn't react, because it does react really well, but it's just the menu that stays right over here for a certain amount of time. By pressing with two buttons, we'll find on the first one the histogram once again, and then focus assist, audiometer. So there are a few right over here that are redundant, and on the second menu we will have the safety markers once again, the center marker, and if I go right over here, we will have the option to see the markers if I want to use them or not, center marker as well, and I can just turn it on and all the markers right over here. If we go to the next menu, we can use the scan mode, the video aspect, anamorphic mode if we are using some other kinds of lens. In terms of zoom, let me show you something. It's very easy to zoom in on the image by pinching right like this, and then if I want to leave out the zoom, I just put my finger and leave it for a few seconds and the zoom is off. So this is very useful if I want to see if anything is in focus or out of focus on my frame. So very useful right over here. Now getting back to the menu, we were somewhere around here on these formats, and then we also have the colors. This is very interesting because we have built-in LUTs, and we can turn one right over here like this, and we can change LUTs. There are a few pre-configured, and of course we have the SD card, which is great if you want to use LUTs built in, so you get your final image the way that you are watching, which is really great instead of doing in post. And then all the other options in terms of colors and contrast, and finally the options that we've got right over here, normal options, including the firmware update, which will be made by the SD card as well. So in conclusion, guys, in my opinion, this is a great solution on the budget for those of you that are looking for a solution to upgrade your screen, especially if you want to see better what you are recording. Like in this scenario would be a lot better than looking at the 3" to look at a 5.5". So if you do this kind of video, it will be helpful. Also, if you are shooting outside and you want a bigger picture of what you are capturing, great. And also one very important thing which usually doesn't appear on this budget area is the option to use LUTs on the monitor itself, which will give us the option to capture already the colors that we want instead of doing them in post. So guys, hopefully this video was helpful in some way. If it was, don't forget that usual thumbs up. My name is Roberto, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.